the news go? It's us, the four. We're here. We're here to talk about the news. I am Jeff.
I'm Heather.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Jason.
That was good.
That was good.
This is what happens when we plan stuff.
Yeah, I know. We've never done this before. We've never planned anything before. This is
We all ad-lib everything.
It's true. Off the cuff.
So, what do we talk about?
Talking about what happened this week in news.
There was a really big thing that happened this
It's
week,
a
actually.
huge thing.
It's devastating.
Something about EQ.
Nope, not
Is
devastating.
it cubed? Is it...
I thought it was just E to the first power, so just E.
E
just
cubed.
E. E cubed.
E
Oh,
cubed.
yes.
Oh, you know what, guys? E3.
Duh, obviously.
That was a bad joke.
Oh, no.
But that happened this week.
That's our definition.
Where'd the time go? That's a bad joke.
New
That's going on a mug.
New tagline.
Yeah, so the expo happened.
Which was cool. I didn't hear anything huge be announced this past week. It was just normal.
I mean, you think about it, the consoles just got released.
That was last E3, so
Yeah,
of course
so
nothing can really. That's
the
you
white
can't
PlayStation 4.
Go from there.
I got rid of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what was actually really entertaining was Nintendo's press release.
I think
I wasn't expecting anything from them. I was expecting.
It didn't sound... It sounded like they were expecting more from Nintendo.
Oh, who were you listening to?
I'm not sure. Everyone.
Everyone.
Everyone was expecting more from
I wasn't
Nintendo.
expecting anything.
And they
I
gave
always
us...
expect.
But
Well, Dave's a Nintendo
So was
fanboy.
Dave.
I was a Sega boy. He was nothing. Sega was great.
I was a Nintendo guy.
Sega Genesis was the shit. Granted, I'm like a decade and a half after that war happened, but
You're a little behind that one.
Keep that alive.
I only had a Sega Genesis until I was about 13 years old, so hey.
That's fair. But what surprised me was just what Nintendo. The biggest surprise, I forget the name of the game, but it's a first-person shooter, which is weird for Nintendo. And you're a person that can change into the squid or an octopus.
That sounds like
And
Nintendo.
Yeah, no, that's Nintendo. And instead of shooting each other, which still now this still sounds like Nintendo, you paint the battlefield. So you each turn you each have like an orange and blue, and you're trying to color the battlefield most with your color, and you can change into an octopus and swim in your color. So if you're the orange team, you turn into an octopus, you can swim in the orange paint that surrounds the battlefield. I don't know to what end that means. I didn't really watch much of the video. I'm like, well, that sounds very interesting. I'm kind of intrigued by that curveball, because you're expecting the new Smash Brothers, a new Legend of Zelda. I mean, a new Legend of Zelda is always fun.
Yeah.
With the more open world mechanics, which I can't wait.
Nintendo, they'll always, bring out the next generation of all their
And they're guaranteed to be
trademarks
great.
things. Yeah, they're always going to be fun to play. I don't think anybody is ever even going to try and dispute that.
Yeah,
but what I wanted to say about the game you're trying to talk about is it sounds a lot like that game Unfinished Swan, that PSN download that you don't know about it?
I know about it. I never
Yeah,
played
okay.
it.
It's just a game where you throw black ink balls at your surroundings, and that's how you navigate through levels. But it sounds like they kind of took something from that and then made it a shooter. But granted, I have no idea. It sounds like this game probably was in development before that game came out, like a year and a half ago.
Well, because the whole point of the game is whoever has the most paint on the battlefield wins.
It's kind of like those games where you flip the tiles over, the white and black tiles.
Othello?
Reverse.
Yeah, it kind of like that in terms of you're trying to make all of your color.
Is Othello reversing?
It's the same thing.
Are they?
Right?
It's the same thing.
It just reminds me of that Mario party.
Mario Party.
A new Mario
8?
Party was announced. 8, 10, 12, 16,000.
No, I think me and Heather were just talking about that one mini game in Mario Party where you had to paint the
where
screen.
you paint it
And they just took that and were like, let's just make a whole game.
Well, apparently at the end of the video when they announced that, you all remember Super Mario Sunshine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that game.
Mario walked onto the screen with his little spray bucket after the battlefield was covered in the paint. I'm like, that's amazing.
Oh, that's really cool.
That was a highly underrated Mario game, I felt. People just, like, it was kind of like Wind Waker. There's a good core of people who loved it, and then everyone's like, oh, this is shit. And then everyone came around and was like, actually, this is really good. This is a fun game. I love Wind Waker.
So it's not underrated.
It was.
It
Well,
was
when it's
During
its
its
release,
time,
it
yeah,
was.
everyone was like, because I think they were all
I don't remember
expecting.
this. I remember it coming out, and I remember playing it and thinking it's great.
Oh yeah, that's what
I never
thought.
owned a game.
Because they were like,
I
this
just
is
played
the
it with friends.
I didn't
GameCube version of Super Mario 64, and that's how it kind of like was anticipated, and that's
It's like, why does
hard
Mario have a
to-
backpack?
yeah, that's
why
hard
is there
to
Baby
beat.
Bowser? Like, blah, blah, blah. It's like, because it's a fucking Mario
Because
game.
it's new.
Right.
I mean, what, you
Yeah.
want the
Different
same
game.
game
That was such a fun game, though.
8 million times? Like a certain franchise that...
The ending of Wind Waker made me almost cry.
No spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
I'm a sap.
Cry in a good way or cry in a bad way?
Oh, in a great way.
Find out later.
Oh, man. Play that game.
Yeah, play it yourself. You have the internet.
It's how they got me. But, who... Then we had Microsoft. I don't remember hearing much surprising from their front. I mean, they opened up with a new Call of Duty. Ooh, surprise. Fun series. People who like it, they like it. I stopped playing it.
I mean,
To that extent. It's like the Madden of first-person shooters. You have a good,
Yes.
big group of people who love the shit out of that game.
Get
and
the
they'll
new one
buy
every
it,
year.
guaranteed. And it's not bad. Then no one's saying Call of Duty's bad or Madden's bad. I'll buy one flavor.
We all know it's going to
What
be the
it's
same
gonna be.
thing every year. So if you want to buy it, go ahead. If you don't,
Go ahead.
you
So-
still want to
Graphics
play
look
with your...
amazing.
You
but-
still want to play
no.
with your rosters from 1998.
You do it.
Don't get made fun of, alright? Nothing wrong with that.
So then, what was interesting about them? Oh, Microsoft's big push is that we don't hate indies. So they had a big group of like hey, look at what is coming to our platform, which I think is cool.
Everyone loves indies.
Yeah,
Love
it's
the indies.
There's a lot of awesome games that started.
whoever. I heard a story about one of the guys at Sony who said like when the PS3 came out, when the Xbox 360 was sort of beating Sony at all the sort of indie game stuff. He's like, listen, this is the future. We have to really delve into this, and I feel like the PS4 is doing a great job
Yeah.
of being open to small-time developers, and the Xbox One, it wasn't so hot, but I don't know. I haven't heard of any great individual like arcade items on the Xbox One being great.
Once again, full caveat: none of us own the new consoles, so we can't
Because
speak to
we're
that.
poor.
That's not reason.
That's why I don't. What?
Bit of the, I mean,
that
I
not the
bought my
reason?
PC, and then I'm like, I don't need a console now.
Yeah, if I had $1 million, I'd still be like, I have no use for it.
Something
You
like
wouldn't buy a console
If
you
I had
had
a
Just
a-
to
million
have it?
dollars, I would
No.
Probably.
But there are games that are only on console.
I don't know what I would play.
I'd
but-
probably
I
buy Here was fun thing when my one friend was talking about Nintendo's press conference. He's a big Nintendo fan. That's why I know more about Nintendo than the other press conferences. He's like, basically, Nintendo stopped competing with Microsoft and Sony
Yeah.
and said, we're the console for when you have a bunch of your buds over. Because none of the other two consoles do split screen at all. Well, they can do it, but no one
They don't
bothers
do party
with it.
games well.
Yeah, where Nintendo's just like, fuck online, we're the console when you're going to take out a 6-pack, drink, and play fucking Mario games and curse at your TV.
Because I think the
That's a quote, by the way.
the moment they realized that like Mario parties and Mario Kart aren't just for kids is when they realized
Oh, yeah.
maybe we should focus on this and like expand it so everyone wants to play it all the time. Like because they started making them like not geared so much towards kids. Like I know like the new Mario Kart. I don't know if you've seen any.
Oh
of it.
god, I played the shit out of that game. It's so
I mean,
much
you
fun.
can tell it's just like any age. It's not like
Mhm.
all super cartoony, super because the games aren't easy.
Oh, no.
Anyone played Mario Kart? It's not like this is meant for 12-year-olds. I can beat this with my hands
Yeah.
tied behind my back. No, this is like
They're
these
hard
games are hard.
games.
Mario Party. I mean, you'll break controllers playing those games.
I have.
Yeah,
I've ended friendships.
At
6 feet
least
under
one.
ended. It's crazy. The game.
It's cool. I dug my way out.
they can't prove anything. It's not charged.
Because he's not dead. But I think that's an interesting fact for Nintendo not leaving the because there was a little worry when the Wii U was sucking shit and just not selling or moving units. They're like Nintendo's like lost. And then with the movement of Mario Kart 8, literally has moved millions of units. That game by itself,
Which
No
is why
surprise.
I was confused as why they didn't launch the console with a like Hallmark game like
I
that.
think they blew their load too early. They just like we need to move it now.
They-
No, because they saw Wii units plateauing.
Right.
It's because they weren't making anything worth buying on it, and everyone's like, "Well,
They
these
did
touch
that
controls
lull.
are fun."
It was that in between lull, in between.
Well, I mean, but then they were looking at 360 and PS3 that were then, just gangbusters, month after month, just increasing, and they're just tapering. I think they're still the top-selling console of that generation.
Oh, I think definitely.
Yeah, right? Because the amount of constant Wii's that were bought was insane.
Yeah.
And then they wanted to release a new unit. It's like, oh, let's reinvigorate our console unit sales. And they just didn't have anything for it.
I mean, to be fair, it's a fun console.
It's interesting.
It's different.
When I played Mario Kart 8, I did not use the tablet thing. I used a Wiimote. So.
Well, yeah, because you could only have one of those tablet things at a time.
The thing's ridiculous. The thing's fucking crazy.
I've never even used it.
It's about this big. Oh, I've held it
I've
like
seen
this.
It's
you held it like this.
No, it's like you see the commercials and
then
you
it
see.
becomes a flat screen.
But it's
it goes up on the wall. Are you talking about the TV?
Yeah, it's no, it's about this long and probably about that tall, give or take. That's not a controller; it's a fucking tablet.
I know you see the
Well,
you see the commercials, the little kids holding it, and you're like, oh, that's all right. But then you see it in real life, and you're like,
this thing is.
So
I mean, it has
Did
a
they like
screen.
shrink it down for kids in the
It's a
commercials then, or did you just underestimate
maybe
sizes of advertising people?
Children.
Maybe children in advertising are very large.
Due to labor laws, it just gets really old, really young-looking old people.
good makeup.
You look like you're 7 years old. I'm 36. Perfect.
It's all the makeup department.
I just think that controls are crazy. What they should have done, released the Wii U. It's like, here's the GameCube controller. That thing was a crazy-looking controller. At least it was a controller, though.
Well, yeah, or they could just make an actual controller.
Yeah, the last two, though, including the Wii U, were bonkers. Yeah, the Wii U, which is like a string and a dildo.
They've never had like a regular
I can't remember
controller.
a time where they had a regular controller.
It's true, but the last
Except when they defined what regular controller was with the SNES.
like so,
or just the NES, whatever.
Even that thing was like pointy corners and shit. The SNES was a bit more of a
Sega
normal.
Genesis was round and it had buttons.
They all had buttons. The GameCube controller, when you look at it by itself, looks stupid. The huge A button and the small XY button and the Z buttons above the huge trigger buttons. You hold that. The one problem, you hold it, it feels great.
Yeah.
The one problem is the camera stick is just down in the corner, so you can never really be dual stick controls.
And I have tiny thumbs, so it was bad for me.
Yeah, but it's a very comfortable controller.
All of them are.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, you look at like the N64 controller and you're like,
that wasn't comfortable.
It was a fantastic controller.
It was
It
handy.
looked like the future.
it was handy.
N64 is one of my favorite systems, but that controller, I'm not a fan of it.
Unless you're playing games
You
where
couldn't
you need
use
to like.
once again, you couldn't use the C buttons. Because on the N64 you had these, and then I guess it was the D-pad. It was up in the
D-pad
corner.
was
You
in the
just
top
never
left.
used it. You held it with the triggers, and the Z
Let
button
it
was
hang
down
out
there.
Unless you were playing a game that also needed that.
Yeah, but they never needed it quickly.
Yeah.
So it was like,
They
oh, you
do.
just switch your weapons, but not in a firefight. You're going to use the rope instead of, like, the not rope.
Instead of the sword.
When Jason plays games, he classifies his weapons as rope or not rope.
Two categories.
Yeah, a lot of first-person shooters, not rope.
I gotta be honest, I'm most excited for The Sims 4. September 2nd. It's coming out.
Excited.
I'm pretty. It's gonna be.
Are we gonna play that together, Heather?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, this is gonna be the best.
I'm excited to see how much like
Get ready for new videos.
first day DLC it's gonna come with.
It comes. Oh shoot! What does it
God,
come
'cause
with?
what,
for
The Sims
set?
3
The
actually
Sims 3
costs like
has,
$350 or something?
Like laundry list
Yes.
of all the DLC that you can get for it.
They're having even more come out for The Sims 4.
Obviously,
Yeah.
they have more come out every
They
new
have
Sims.
a lizard one. It's happening.
A wizard one?
See,
They already
there's-
have a magic one
I
for
know.
Sims 3, though. I have
The
it.
Sims
Like
3.
the
I have all the
expansions?
Sims 3 downloadable stuff because
It's
I love The
crazy.
Sims 3.
It's a great game. I mean, my one problem was...
Actually,
when
Alright, I
some
bought
of
it all.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll talk about that later. I bought it all on sale, so I only spent like $70 for everything, but
That's fair. I mean, that's a good deal, relatively speaking.
Oh yeah.
yes.
My one problem with some of the deals, like some of it was like completely different things. Fine, like real download content. My other problem was like $15 for furniture.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
know
could have
about
clearly put
That's
that in
dumb,
there. That's
yeah.
just a
Yeah.
money grab.
that. Right.
That's
oh,
a little
yeah.
mean. When it was like, oh no, now you can become president. It's like, okay, well that's a little
That's
different.
cool,
You have all
yeah.
these weird jobs. I'm like, okay,
The
that's
best
an
is
actual...
when you can like go to Paris and like find like underground mummies.
Yeah, like
It's great.
that's not a part of the base
It's-
game. It's clearly something.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
this is
not one.
new. This is different.
Clearly incredible.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Not a dresser.
You make friends with people you can't speak to, and they teach you how to sing. A lot of that DLC did not make sense.
I like the
It
plant
was
people.
really good.
They were probably my favorite in Seasons.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Let's. Oh yeah, we'll just have to play The Sims
yeah.
together.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
I found a new 2-play series, it seems.
Definitely.
I don't want to watch that one. I don't want to edit those videos because I'm so scared.
Scared of what?
Probably should be though. Really.
Just the jarring, it's gonna be weird.
There's gonna be no storyline.
There's
It's
gonna be a
really
story.
good
It's
storyline.
gonna be
Yeah,
the best
there's
story.
gonna be a storyline, but it's
You
not
have
gonna
to
make
have a
sense.
no, it's
Well,
So that was, Nintendo, we talked about Nintendo, a little bit about Microsoft. Now another point they made is like they didn't talk about hardware. It was only software. Like the last year's E3, it was a very technical keynote. Because they talked to as if they were talking to a bunch of engineers. And they said everything, which was interesting. I liked it because, I like learning most everything. They didn't bullshit. Problem was, everyone heard the bad things. Always on, watching you, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada.
right.
Where Sony basically said, hey, it's going to play games and streams. It's going to be great. Ignore the fact that for it to stream and then like auto update, it needs to be always on and therefore always aware that it's on. They didn't say that.
yeah, but that was very good on Sony's part.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
no.
care if you're at a big convention. I want to see the best. I only want to hear the good things. I'll figure out the bad things.
Which people did, and that was, I think, Microsoft realizing, you know what, this isn't a room full of engineers, it's full of journalists and rabid fans. Animals.
Pander to us. It's what we
Exactly. And
want.
then they're like, alright, here's a bunch of games. Which is cool. I gotta respect that. I didn't hear much about Sony's. It was pretty strong. It was a good showing. But I also didn't hear anything. Wow. Were you wowed by anything for E3? Did you hear anything like, man, I have to have that, other than like Sims 4?
What?
Anything?
No. I didn't do a lot of looking into E3.
I
Not yet.
focused on the Nintendo part because
Right.
that's what I was most
I think
interested in.
Legends of Zelda looks pretty cool.
Fanboy.
They just had the most. Here's the other thing. Nintendo always does right. Most colors.
Oh yeah. Well, even
There's
the trailer
correlation.
they have for that, there's like this giant octopus, and he's running across a bridge, and it just looks incredible.
It was like, there's so many colors. It's so much
It
fun.
does.
Colors equals fun.
Uh-huh.
There's also the E3 of betas on consoles. That was a lot. Like, Evolve's beta was announced. You know Evolve? It's made by the same guys who are making Left 4 Dead. It's a team of 4 people, like the medic, engineer, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a 5th person who's the monster.
Oh.
And you can evolve. That actually looks really fun. Expect some
Wow.
videos in that when that comes out. Whereas then you have your team, you have to fight that other human-controlled monster, and that monster evolves, is where the name comes from, by eating other things. You have to track it and hunt it. So that looks really interesting, and
cool.
that was announced for the Xbox One as an exclusive beta release. And then the PS4, along with the PC, they got Battlefield Hardline beta. That's actually interesting. It's Payday meets Battlefield. So it's cops versus crooks,
Interesting.
and like the crooks are doing a heist, and the cops are basically trying to stop them. I think it's a very cool. I don't know why they kept it under the Battlefield moniker, because it's not being made by DICE. It's being made by I think it's Visceral, but it's not DICE, which is interesting.
Well, maybe just the recognition for sales.
Yeah,
Just calling it a
right.
Battlefield game
Yeah.
secures.
it looks like. I mean,
Something
it still
else.
looks like Battlefield 4, just in smaller, tighter settings, and I think that's kind of a cool, interesting avenue for Battlefield, because Battlefield, what it's known for, is just big, huge, open warfare arenas, tanks, helicopters,
Everything.
planes,
Yeah.
jeeps, foot soldiers. And this is not that. I mean, they're saying there's still going to be, like, cool gadgets. So that actually is an interesting game. I'm interested to see how that develops.
It's interesting. I mean, it's interesting how consoles are getting like betas.
Right?
Yeah, that's
I
true.
guess they see how PC like people
Yeah,
love
well, it's good.
early access betas, even some alphas on the PC.
Yeah, I think because the PlayStation 4 is getting an alpha of Destiny. The new Bungie title, their new open first-person shooter MMORPG.
I've looked into that. It looks absolutely incredible.
I am
I love it.
excited
I
with a huge grain of salt because I'm like, I'm tired. I will look at this. I'm like, it looks cool, but I'm gonna wait. Wait a very long time.
Well, because there's
Yeah.
plenty of games that they open it to early access, get a ton of sales because it looks awesome,
Yeah,
And
I mean, this
looks
is an alpha.
promising.
This is pre-orders bonus.
and then they're like,
Yeah.
well, we're just not going to update the game anymore.
Well, yeah, but this is Bungie. I mean, they're
they're
a real company. They're gonna
because of their Bungie's track record of, they've had a great community when they owned Halo, where they were making all the Halo games. Their community was one of the best, and they made sure it was very, there was a lot of activity in it. They supported it. They recognized it. So I hope they're jumping in full force into the MMO space. They bring that with them. When a company really supports its community in that environment, the game is going to be great in terms of being active.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely looks cool. It looks like a pretty game. You have space wizards, normal grunt soldiers. Space wizards are also known as the adepts of the Mass Effect series, according to Jeff and me.
Yes.
They use magic. Essentially, it's magic.
Magic and space. It's space wizards. Yeah.
Right?
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So also, one of the voices in that is Tyrion Lannister. I'm pretty sure.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty great for anyone who
amazing.
watches Game of Thrones, which I only just recently got into because I watched the first episode and incest freaks me out.
It does. Freak me out too. Well, not incest.
So I watched it a
The
long
show.
time ago.
The
The show's amazing.
The show.
The
Incest,
show's
not
great.
so much.
Incest is weird.
Yeah.
Wasn't sexy.
What happened to the news?
Let's talk about the news.
This is the news.
We're talking about it. We're not.
We followed a lead, Dave, and this
it's not
this
what-
is the
Where it
dark.
led us.
This is the deep throat that it took us to.
Deep throat.
Yeah.
My journalistic references are not great.
Sexual?
No, the Watergate guy, Deep Throat, right? That was his
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's just so weird. Even when I was a kid, and I heard that, I'm like, that's a weird.
That doesn't
It's a
sound
weird
That sounds
right.
weird.
No. Not right.
Look it up, kids. On Safe Search, just in case.
Unless you're into it.
Or
Yeah,
Drunk History from
Drunk
Comedy
History.
Central
It's
does
probably.
a whole episode on
How accurate
Richard
is it?
Nixon. It's pretty accurate. It's
Alright.
pretty
I'd
good.
say like 100%.
They're pretty accurate, actually. They're really funny.
I love it when they were on YouTube. That's where they started. It was a show on YouTube. And
Yeah.
they got so drunk they just cut to them just vomiting.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh damn. But back to video games, cause So I am excited for Destiny, and I don't know when I'll jump in it, because I know I will. There will be a point where I'm just like, I'm gonna play this game, and I'm gonna play the fuck out of it. One thing excited me was GTA 5 was finally announced for the new current gen and PC coming out in the fall. So I'm excited for that.
Let's just hope it's a good port.
I hope so. I mean, GTA
Not the
4.
best track record.
How was GTA 4 port? I didn't hear
Um,
anything wrong with it. I think I didn't care about PC then. So I was just playing it on the console.
Yeah, I don't
Always care about PC. No, I mean, I can't even say that because I was.
Yeah, you can't
I
say
got a
that.
PC a year ago.
Yeah, you owned a Wii.
Because I did my gaming on my laptop and
Yeah.
I
Was
played
it?
awesome games on the
By gaming, he means Civilization.
Yeah.
which that's the only game.
It counts, but
It does.
it's the only game you played.
But,
Well, okay. Not to change topics. I
Oh,
think, I want to talk about the Steam sale that's going to be coming up this
do
Thursday.
we really need to tell the audience about the Steam sale?
Well, I think we should.
We need to share in the excitement.
I mean, we could just say it out loud.
They've already sold at least their second kidney. Sorry, guys, you shouldn't do that. You only have two for a reason.
Wait,
Two
you're
backups,
only
yeah.
supposed to have two?
You have two kidneys. You can't sell them both.
He can. He's got 4.
No.
Medical anomaly.
Doctor
can
approved.
Start selling your blood. Make sure you sell everything that's not your computer or internet abilities.
You weirdly can tell.
All right, so
Yeah, no,
I'm
you
pretty
should
sure the
totally.
purpose of the Steam sale is so you don't have to sell these weird physical extremities of
No.
yourself to afford a lot of games.
No.
It's the exact opposite,
No,
actually.
it's
I
everything's
spent
so low. You're just like,
You
wow,
have to buy
I'm
it
gonna
all.
buy this game. And
yeah, and you
start
only
buying.
spend $70.
And then you spend more because there's more than 10 games on sale. There's
Yeah, with
hundreds.
$70, you can buy about 80 games.
I was gonna say, my
Doesn't
entire
matter.
wish list is gonna be bought and then some.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna buy my wish list
Amazing.
twice just because, like, fuck it, I can buy all
Why
these
not?
games.
Why not?
Any game under $1 on the winter sale, I bought. It's guaranteed. I didn't play any of those games yet. Why?
But
You played
one day.
I did briefly. I don't know how to say it.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Oh.
It's just a straight beast.
God, I looked so ugly doing Everyone, all together.
That audience was so bizarre. I am so sorry, audience.
Oh, that was the best.
It was pretty great. I enjoyed it. But, anything else? Anything else? We got the winter, the spring, summer.
Don't
Summer
kill
sale?
yourself for the summer sale.
Don't
listen to
actually
these
sell
guys.
organs.
Well, I know.
If you can get people to buy your blood,
Yeah,
that's actually a legitimate thing.
Yeah,
So,
and if
if
you
you
have organs
I'm
to
a tall guy. I
sell
got
and
a
you
lot
want
of
to
blood
do
to
it,
sell.
go for it. You can
only
make
if you've had
money.
diseases. So.
What? I've had diseases.
I know, you can sell your blood.
But only me, I have weird
250.
anomalies.
I'm
You have to
constantly
have at least
diseased.
Epstein-Barr.
I don't know what that means.
Hepatitis. Mono.
Mono. I might be a carrier.
Mono.
Also,
We didn't get to it.
No.
No.
It's not
I may
not
have
a
given
thing.
it to you and not contracted it.
It's
So
true.
my blood's
You might
even
have
more important
That's true.
Why?
because I'm immune to it.
Yeah. It's for research. Anyway.
Talk about E3, a lot about Nintendo, which is weird because none of us own a Nintendo
that's
console.
where, well, I'm sure over the course of the next couple of weeks we'll bring up the new stuff coming out that happened.
What's happening on the channel this week?
E3 has repercussions
It's done
across
now.
the entire year.
Now there's
No,
now
but I mean, like,
E3 is the kicking off of like the
yeah.
convention circuit. I always view E3 as the big. Here we go, buckle up, kids. We're gonna have a lot of announcements coming your way. So I think that's figure what's next. The next big I mean, technically RTX, the Rooster Teeth's convention, which has gotten fucking gigantic. That's the next big thing, but that's not quite strictly video game announcements. So what's happening on the channel this week, Dave?
I'll
Definitely we kicked off the Minecraft series this week.
Minecraft, yeah.
Yeah, season 4 is now live and insulting your eardrums, not assaulting.
Insulating your eardrum.
Insulating.
Keeps them
Insulating.
warm.
Cushioning you in a sultry
A warm
blanket of
Minecraft.
Minecraft playing.
I mean, we do a lot of work in those videos. It should
We do.
I do a lot of wandering around.
should make you feel productive watching them.
Hey, you're gonna feel industrious. You're like,
Yeah.
look at all the work
Really
they did
empower
in a
you.
video game. And
Or
then,
lost.
Or lost.
Or lost.
You might feel lost.
Alone.
Mostly.
Abandoned.
Some people still need
It
to
might not be our
explore the
videos
world.
making you feel that way.
We launched a new series, Hardcore Mode.
Yes, we should
Kicking
get
it
one
off
of
with
those.
Civ. This is once again another Civilization 5. One of our most popular videos on our channel.
Because who doesn't like Civilization?
You gotta love
Wow.
Civ.
And it was a great
I
video.
God.
don't think anyone loves it as much as you, though.
It's a really good game, though.
Heather
It's a
might.
lot of fun, but I don't.
Let's make sure-
I'm not as devoted into it as Dave,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's a really
We
good
should all
game.
I
fit
think
to
I've
those
sunk
in.
more hours into Dynasty Warriors than I have Civilization.
Makes me sad about you.
It's such a fun.
I dumped a lot of hours in Skyrim,
Stupid fun. Well, okay, everyone does.
right? Even if you don't like the game, you still
Yeah.
dump in like
Can't
300
help it.
hours. You're like, I don't even fucking like what I'm doing. Why am I doing this? But anything else new in the works? Gonna definitely, probably, hopefully make some more Banished.
People want us to do Banished, Democracy 3,
We keep saying we want to jump on that gravy train of Democracy 3 again.
which we will.
I think
Yes, I keep trying to make us do it, and we're always never. All right.
I would really actually like to get some Broken Age in there.
that's a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a
Broken
little.
Age is
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So,
All right.
Jeff
So.
loves the point.
I'm a pointer. I'm a visual talker. And when I say visual, I just mean my mother never taught me not to. So
Hand motions.
my mother also never taught me that it was impolite to invite myself over to someone's house.
Yeah, no, I taught you that. I taught you that.
Jason taught me.
That was something that Jay, I know it's impolite to invite people at their house. I mean, I don't care. You can show up at my house,
right,
but
yeah.
sidebar, do that to anyone else, they might be angry at you.
Yeah, I don't get it, but whatever.
But another Jay Plays video came out this past week. There's on Risk of Rain. Great game. Play it. Hopefully we had some more solo videos coming out from Dave.
Maybe. I'm trying. I'm working on it.
Yeah, man. We got some new art on our channel. Kind of. Test art.
Art.
Check it out. Look
It'll-
at
the
it.
art-
I did it. That
The
shit.
art will be
Simultaneous
changing constantly throughout the year, probably, because we rarely get along and
And we're
No,
indecisive.
we get along fine. It's just some of us don't like.
working.
Doing
It's
their
me.
jobs.
I'm lazy.
Yeah, I did your job.
Yes.
I mean, Dave also did my job with the PR thing with.
We're all
Civ.
we're all doing each other's jobs.
There's only 4 of
It's all
us.
work.
There's only so much we can do.
I don't think I do a lot of jobs.
Which, speaking of
No,
which,
you're,
that there's
you're
only
the on-call doctor.
Yeah, you're the doctor.
I'm not a
Why do you
doctor.
think I call you 8 times a day?
Don't
Because
tell them I'm
is
a
this
doctor.
infected? I can't
I can
see
probably
you,
tell
Jeff.
that.
I think it's infected.
You're gonna have to Skype me or something. I don't.
Anyway,
8
let's wrap
times
this
a day.
up. As always, thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like it. If you really like the video, why didn't you share it? You're like, hey, there's these 4 crazy people who decided to put their faces on the internet. Watch this, friend, and our family member. And then if you still like it after sharing and liking it, and you want more, subscribe. Do that. That's a fun thing
Do
to
a
do.
lot of subscribing.
Yeah, at least once to our channel. You can do the other channels, but ours mostly. That's what we care about. If you want to find out more about us, what we like thinking about, what we might not like thinking about, follow us on our blog at wherethebloggo.wordpress.com, and you can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/WTTGo, and find us on Twitter at WTTGo. As always, thank you for watching, and enjoy whatever time of day you find yourself in.
Dave, can I ask you a question?
Uh-oh.
Why do you always look so bored?
You look so angry.
You're like fuming in the corner. That's not angry. I don't know what that was, like constipated. That's sexy. It's debonair.
And this was this is the first episode. Actually, this is the first episode. We launched a new series right now, Where the News Go.
And we
Got that
even-
little update.
Yeah.
put that in the beginning.
Right.
So,
We'll edit. We'll do
enjoy
some
more of this.
yeah,
Hopefully a
magic
weekly
editing for
news
Nick.
discussion.
Yeah, that probably centered around discussion.
Yeah, discussion. It starts out with news, and we delve into things.
We say like 5 bits of information, and then we just go down a rabbit hole and end up on incest.